Good morning, greetings, friends, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I am your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health challenge. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 32 years of practice in pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes, hypertension, obesity, skin diseases like acne, psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds. Recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle. But what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing system, it is a regenerating system, it is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis, and while some folks may call that healing, renewing, regenerating system a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we are here for you on The Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number, 844-236-6010. If you have questions about the longevity products, longevity business, health challenges you or a loved one may be dealing with, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we can help you do that. 844-236-6010 is our number. And, of course, if you have a success story you'd like to share, or if you just want to contribute to the conversation, 844-236-6010 is our number on The Bright Side. If you want to purchase any of our Truth Skin Health products, please go to truthtreatments.com. Make sure you take a look at our Biomimetic Mineral Mist, as well as our Retinol 5% Gel and Retinol 1% Gel, Truth Omega-6 Healing Cream, and Truth Transdermal Sea Balm. Never any preservatives, fragrances, fillers, waxes, emulsifiers. Nothing your skin doesn't need or doesn't want in any of our Truth Treatments. They're all up at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. All right, welcome back to The Bright Side, friends. We've been talking about the energetics, the energy nature of the body, bioenergetics. The word energy has been kind of co-opted by less than scientific, new agey sorts of pseudo-scientific or even non-scientific perspectives and interests. And it's kind of diverted, it's sort of adulterated and clouded our ability to really appreciate what is occurring in this super high-tech, almost science fiction-like nature of this marvelous instrument we call the human body, the incredible, really incomprehensible biochemical, bioenergetic nature of the human body is somehow something that we don't think about. We don't pay attention to when we're sick. We don't pay attention to when we're healthy. We don't even pay attention to it, except once in a while, maybe watching something on Nova or on the internet. Some of us, anyway, will take a few minutes to be blown away by the nature of biology, the nature of our bodies. But really, when we're sick, the first thing we think about is going to the doctor. For most people, even if we have something as simple as a cold, the first thing we think about is going to the doctor. We have a rash, we go to the dermatologist. We have an allergy, we go to the allergist. We're a woman going through menopause, we go to the OBGYN. This is just the standard way we do business when it comes to our health is if we're sick, we go to the doctor. And this completely flies in the face of the understanding the body as an energetic system. When we understand that the body is an energetic system, we'll see there's nothing in the medical model that can address deficiencies or defects or breakdown somehow in the processing of energy in the body. It is not a medical issue. It is strictly a lifestyle issue, and that is awesome news. That is the best news anybody who has diabetes could ever hear. Is that their diabetes is not a medical issue, it's an energetic issue, and energetics have nothing to do with medicine. There's nothing in the world of energetics, in the world of energy, there is nothing, zippo, nada, zero, a doctor can do to support the body's health, to support the energetics of the body. There's nothing in the doctor's bag of tricks that will help the body process energy more effectively. In fact, the exact opposite is the case. Everything with a capital E, everything in the doctor's magical bag of tricks will suppress the body's ability or somehow have a negative effect, somehow hurt the body or harm the body's ability to process energy. We call that toxicity. And it is the tool of the trade of the medical model, even if they will tell you that the toxicity is somehow beneficial. That's the theory behind pharmacomedicine, is that the toxicity is somehow beneficial. It's like George Orwell in 1984, war is peace. Toxicity is healing. That's the doctor model, not the medical model, we'll say. I don't want to blame doctors. It's the medical model. War is peace. Toxicity is healing. At the end of the day, not only is the body the physical manifestation of structured, organized energy, that's the key, it's structured, organized energy in a shape, in a form. Think of a crystal. That's what a crystal is. A crystal is organized energy that is structured in a certain shape that gives it it's information. It's in a form. By the way, the technical definition of information, according to what's called something called information theory, there's actually a science called information theory, and the technical definition of information, according to information theory, is the elimination of uncertainty. Information is the elimination of uncertainty. Information is information to the degree it gives you a sense of certainty. When we're sick, there's an element of uncertainty that's involved. This is what's so terrifying about being sick, is the uncertainty. Health is certainty. Health is information. Health is shape. There's nothing a doctor can do to support that. This organized energy is the essence of health. This information is the essence of health. When we are in the right shape, we have certainty or information, our energy is organized, we are in health. Anything we could do to support the organization of energy into the body, to make the body more organized, is going to make us healthier. Okay, so what does that? Exercise makes the body more organized. Food makes the body more organized if it's correct food. In fact, food, first and foremost, represents energy, as well as the organized molecules. Energy, information, and health, there's several components. First, there's food. Food has the energy and food has the organized molecules. We've talked about this a lot. It's the macro and micronutrients, thus the importance of eating whole, unprocessed foods, and supplementing our food, supplementing our income, in this case our food income, supplementing our food income, it's coming into the body, with organizing molecules, i.e. the mighty 90 essential nutrients, your healthy start pack. The healthy start pack is the organizing molecules for the protein, fats, and carbs. If you're thinking, well, maybe I should be doing my Beyond Tangy Tangerine with food, you're exactly right. If you do your BTT and your Mighty 90 with food, you're going to help that food get organized. That's why you want to take your nutrients with food if possible, for the most part. There's some exceptions to that. But for the most part, you want to have your nutrients with food, your micronutrients, your supplements, because they're going to help the food work better. Or they're going to help the body be able to work, to extract the energy or work with the energy more efficiently. Food without micronutrients is a disaster. Food without micronutrients, you might say, is the ultimate health disaster that we are confronting. We are the starving obese in the United States of America and maybe around the world. The starving obese because we get plenty of the food, but not the micronutrients to help the body utilize that food. Oxygen is also important, as is respiration. Respiration means inhalation and exhalation, so breathing in and breathing out. How many times a day do we talk about in this program? SDR breathing, slow, deep, rhythmic breathing. Slow, deep, rhythmic breathing does a lot of things for you. Number one, it provides the body with oxygen. It provides the body with carbon dioxide and also helps you release carbon dioxide. It alkalinizes the body, relaxes the body. Most importantly, maybe, it activates the parasympathetic nervous system. I don't say most importantly, but importantly, it activates the parasympathetic nervous system. And of course, this is where the molecules that are involved in the food, that are part of the food, become combusted by the oxygen. Oxygen is important for combustion. If you ever want to make your fire in your fireplace burn more brightly, you put oxygen in it because oxygen improves burning. It does the same thing at the quantum level inside a cell. All right, take a break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll return right after this. the bright side. Got lines open for you at 844-236-6010, 844-236-6010. If you have questions about the longevity products, the longevity business, health challenges, or if you have a comment or success story you'd like to share, questions about anything we're talking about here today, digestive enzymes, enzymes in general, energy, the energy nature of the body, which is absolutely unbelievably fascinating when you think about it, how the body organizes energy, how it somehow structures energy to form this super high-tech, crazy complex and tightly regulated, organized energy system, energy information system called the human body. If you have questions about any of that stuff, or if you just have a comment or success story you'd like to share, 844-236-6010 is our number on the bright side. We are on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific, 10 to 11 Central Time, and 24/7 on the archive page at brightsideben.com. You can also find blog posts and news stories at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com. All right, got lines open, 844-236-6010. We'll get your calls in our next segment. We're talking about the energy nature of the body, the energetics of the body, food and micronutrition, or sources of energy. Oxygen allows the body to combust the energy. The combination of food, micronutrients, and oxygen all put together result in combustion, burning of that food, and that burning of the food releases energy, and presumably the micronutrients that should be in the food directs the energy. And by the way, it's not just oxygen that's important, it's also carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is blown off, obviously, we all know that, in the exhalation, but you have to have a certain amount of carbon dioxide in the body. If you don't have enough carbon dioxide in the body, this can constrict the blood vessels. It can definitely affect the heart. It can affect the lungs. There's actually a type of breathing called buteyko breathing, B-U-T-E-Y-K-O, buteyko breathing. The buteyko breathing method understands the importance of carbon dioxide and leverages the importance of carbon dioxide by controlling the inhalation and the exhalation process. And the buteyko method, B-U-T-E-Y-K-O, buteyko method has been used very successfully to treat asthma. If you have asthma, you may want to Google the buteyko breathing method for asthma, or just Google. It's kind of interesting. Anyway, the buteyko breathing mechanism, or buteyko breathing technique. It's most commonly used for asthma, but athletes are using it as well. Has a lot to do with mouth breathing, non-mouth breathing. A lot of people will breathe in through their mouth. Sometimes even they're told to breathe out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. I've heard that before. That's not true. You breathe in. I learned it as nose is for breathing, mouth is for eating. So you always want to be breathing in through your nose to maximize the effects, at least from the buteyko method. I think it's always important to breathe in through the nose. In any case, the buteyko method has been used very successfully to treat asthma, and it leverages the power of carbon dioxide, not as a waste material, but carbon dioxide is an oxygen magnet. Then, after you get the food, you get the circulatory, you get the food, you got the respiratory system. Then you have the circulatory system. Circulatory system is also critical because the circulatory system is how all the stuff gets delivered to the cells. The blood system. The blood system, the circulatory system, delivers the nutrients, it delivers oxygen to the cells, it helps detoxify the cells, and in fact, the circulatory system generates its own electrical charges. The circulatory system, whose main component is the blood, is a electrical generating system. It's generating electricity as it's moving. Physicists call this the zeta potential, Z-E-T-A, zeta potential. And the movement of blood is actually occurring, this is so cool, it occurs in a vortex. Yes, if you could look at the blood itself as it's moving through the circulatory system, you could see it's moving with a vortical movement, like the way water spins in a blender, in a Vitamix. Vortexes generate electrical energy. That's why I always say you want to mix your vegetables in a Vitamix and drink veggie Vitamix juices. You'll get the electrical energy. You'll get, in addition to all the nutrients in the veggies, you'll also get electrical energy. In fact, if you just put a cucumber in water and vortex it in a Vitamix or even a blender, you will get you'll actually feel energy. You'll feel energy that's above and beyond the calories that are in the cucumber, which of course doesn't have a lot of calories. If you do it with your Beyond Tangy Tangerine, same thing happens. If you do with salt, it'll happen. Salt, minerals, phytonutrients, even vitamins in a vortex will will conduct electrical energy above and beyond the calories that are included. Usually calories are, it takes calories to get energy, but you can actually get energy in a very low calorie way by using a vortex, by using a blender and creating a vortex. The movement of blood is the same thing. There are actually scientists now who believe that the heart is not actually a pump. Because they say, there's a guy who wrote a book named Thomas Cower, I believe, C-O-W-E-R. He's a physician. He says there's no way the heart can pump all the blood through the body. The heart is just is too small to be able to force all that blood through the tiny vessels and then all the way back up again. And he says that that the movement of the blood actually occurs via the energy that's produced in the vortex that the fluid is moving in. The blood fluid is moving in a vortex. This conducts an electrical charge, and according to Dr. Cower, anyway, he's an MD, he says that it's this vortical energy that accounts for the circulation of the blood, not the heart. Whether he's right or wrong, I don't know. It sounds good. I believe he could very well be right. The point is that as the blood is moving through the circulatory system, as the fluid is moving through the circulatory system, it's generating an electrical charge. However, as the accumulation of toxicity from food, from the environment, from water, from crappy thinking, and from a gradual breakdown of the body, as this accumulation of toxicity ensues over the course of a lifetime, beginning at conception for most of us, that is when the sperm meets the egg, that's when toxicity for most of us starts to accumulate. Eventually, our blood becomes congested. Eventually, the blood will become dirty. I always say this, dirty blood. All disease is cell disease, but all cell disease is preceded by dirty blood. It's not dirty blood is just a kind of attention-getting way of talking about blood congestion, hemocongestion. Congestion of the blood occurs over the course of time as toxicity enters into the bloodstream through the digestive system, and if you're injecting things through your skin, that just complicates it. That just makes it worse. When that happens, when the blood becomes congested, it no longer can generate its electrical charge. The vortexes are messed up. It doesn't create vortexes as effectively. It doesn't deliver nutrients as effectively. It doesn't deliver oxygen as effectively. And then, to make matters worse, the congestion results in a further slowing down of the circulation, which leads to less nutrient delivery, less electrical charge, which leads to more slowing down. And you get this downward spiral. And it's all, this precedes all disease, folks. This is the common thread that runs through all chronic degenerative disease. Also, all chronic degenerative disease shows up as cell disease, but it's all preceded by dirty blood. And by the way, there's another very important aspect or component of the circulatory system called the lymphatic system. And that gets involved too. The lymphatic system is part of the circulatory system. We don't really talk about it anywhere near as much as we talk about the blood. But the lymph is a component of the circulatory system. It has to circulate as well. Circulatory system. It has to circulate as well. And that's another aspect of the disease process. The lymphatic system is quite interesting. It's very interesting and very underappreciated. We've talked about it here in the past. And we'll continue this discussion when we come back from our break and get your phone calls as well. 844-236-6010 is our number. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll return right after this. Back on The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben, and we have lines open for you at 844-236-6010. We'll get your calls here after we read a couple of stories. If you have questions about anything we're speaking about here today, or a health challenge you or a loved one may be dealing with, if you have a comment you'd like to share, 844, or a success story, 844-236-6010 is our number. If you want to purchase longevity products, call 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470, or you can purchase longevity products at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. And don't forget to check out our Truth Skin Health products at truthtreatments.com, our Truth Biomimetic Mineral Mist, Truth Retinol 1% Gel, Truth Retinol 5% Gel, and all our Truth Transdermal products, Truth Transdermal C products are at truthtreatments.com. We got new products coming out here in hopefully the next 4 to 8 weeks. So keep checking the website. We also have a skincare blog that I try to keep regular with at truthtreatments.com. That's plural, truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. All right, If you're on hold, hang on. We'll get to you when we just read a couple stories here, and we do have lines open, 844-236-6010, 844-236-6010 from the International Journal of Cancer. Why you should eat your last meal before 9 p.m. Eating your last meal of the day earlier, and at least before 9 p.m., helps lower your risk of breast cancer and prostate cancer. And if you do eat later than that, you'll get a similar protective effect if you wait 2 hours after eating before going to bed. Apparently, what you eat is just as important as when you eat it. This is according to researchers from Barcelona, from the Barcelona Institute for Global Health in Spain. And it all has to do with how your body breaks down food and how it metabolizes food. People who eat their last meal of the day before 9 p.m. are 20% less likely to develop breast or prostate cancer than those who eat after 10 p.m. One of the most important benefits to eating, to stopping your meals, or to stop eating before, they say 9 p.m. I say before 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. And then skipping breakfast is you have a longer time to burn fat. Your body has a tendency to go ketogenic the longer you can go without caloric intake. And that's why it's a really good idea to restrict your eating till, say, between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. If you just did that, if you just only ate between 11 and 5 p.m., even if you ate a lot, even if you ate more than you should eat, you probably wouldn't gain as much weight as if you eat throughout the day. They used to tell you, they don't say it anymore, but they used to tell you, you want to graze. I still hear nutritionists saying you want to spread out your calories. You want to make sure that you don't go 2 or 3 hours without meals. There's actually some athletes or bodybuilders who say that. Now, if you're a bodybuilder or an athlete and you're burning through calories, that might be different. But for the average couch potato, that is a very bad idea to graze. Number one, you don't ever give your digestive system a break. Number two, you're psychologically more prone towards eating the more you eat. Do you ever notice that if you start eating earlier in the day, you tend to eat more? Do you ever notice that if you eat breakfast, you tend to eat more? Notice if you skip breakfast, how you're less likely to snack during the day. If you skip lunch, same thing. You're less likely to snack. The more we eat, the more we want to eat. The more frequently we eat, the more we want to eat. So not only is it helpful, at least according to this article, for reducing your risk of breast cancer and prostate cancer, it also is helpful for going ketogenic. It's also helpful for losing weight. It's also helpful for controlling your eating behavior to keep your food intake between 11 and 5, or just a small chunk of the day, and spend as much of the day as possible not eating anything. All right, from the Journal of Obsessive Compulsive Related Disorders, OCD, Obsessive Compulsive Disorder, which I know a little something about. My dad had OCD. OCD could be caused by lack of sunlight. If you have OCD, it could be because you're living in the northern hemisphere and you're not getting enough sunlight, according to a new study. People suffering from OCD, that is obsessive compulsive disorder, where the sufferer constantly checks something or repeats the same routine, seems to be more prevalent among people living in the northern hemisphere. This is because people living in these regions get less sunlight, which makes syncing with their internal biological clock more difficult. This is according to researchers from Binghamton University in upstate New York, where you don't see the sun, as many of my upstate New York listeners know. You don't see the sun for 9 months a year. OCD is a big problem. So is alcoholism, for that matter, a big problem in upstate New York and in the New England areas. All that, the whole northeast, upper northeast area tends to suffer from things like OCD and psychological health issues, and drug addiction, and also alcoholism more than other parts of the country. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that there's not a lot of sun. Getting up late each morning also means that people are getting less sunlight, and this can become a vicious cycle, leading to more eccentric sleep patterns. OCD sufferers are notorious for not being able to get to sleep and then being unable to get up early in the morning. By reviewing the available literature on the prevalence of OCD in different countries, researchers were able to show a statistical correlation between OCD and latitude. And N-acetylcysteine has been used to treat obsessive compulsive disorder. This is so interesting to me. Also, niacin, vitamin B3 has been used to treat obsessive compulsive disorder. And between niacin, vitamin B3, and all the B vitamins, you never want to take one B vitamin without taking the entire complex. So take your Beyond Tangy Tangerine with your Ultimate Niacin, and you can use it to treat OCD. You can use it to treat Asperger's syndrome. You can use it to treat social anxiety disorder. It's been used to treat schizophrenia. Dr. Abram Hoffer wrote a book about vitamin B3 and schizophrenia. He wrote a book just on niacin. I forgot the name of the book, but it's just on niacin. Niacin is nicotine and niacin have some similarities. Nicotine from cigarettes and niacin, and as many smokers know, nicotine has a calming effect on the nerves. That's why one of the reasons why people smoke. And if you're trying to quit smoking, you may want to consider using a little vitamin B3. Your Ultimate Niacin, 500 milligrams a day, is a great strategy, great supplemental strategy for folks who are trying to quit smoking. Okay, let's do one more here. This is from the Mayo Clinic. 200,000 Americans die each year from medical errors. Oh my God, that's the Mayo Clinic saying this. Around 200,000 Americans die each year because of some mistake made by a medical provider, and these errors are more likely to happen when the doctor is suffering from burnout, a new study has discovered, and many doctors are suffering from burnout. This is not to blame doctors. This is to blame patients, really. It's our fault as patients as much as it is doctors, because we're counting on doctors to do too much. This is where Dr. Burnout comes out, and we shouldn't be surprised that errors occur. It's just, they're always going to occur in the medical model. That's the nature of the beast. 200,000 Americans, that's a lot of Americans dying from medical errors, and that's the Mayo Clinic that came out with that study. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. We do have lines open. Let's hit the phones and say good morning to my friend Gary from Minnesota. What's up, Gary? How you doing?
Ben, always an honor to talk to you.
Likewise, Gary.
I recently took a blood test first time in decades because of that injury I've been battling.
The eye thing?
No, that and the humerus that I broke last January. When I
okay.
Yeah, but anyways, blood test came back. I'm in the sun hours in a bathing suit, and I supplement vitamin D, and I got a number of 32. And that's
a number of 32 on what? I don't know what you mean. Gary, hang on. We got to take a break, okay? Don't go away.
Yep.
Got lines open, 844-236-6010. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back after this. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side, talking to Gary in Minnesota. 844-236-6010 is our number. We've got lots of lines open for you. Gary, you there, man?
Sir.
I didn't understand what you're saying. What did you say, a 32? What did you mean by that?
Vitamin D hydroxy. I'm looking at the test result. Vitamin D.
Oh, your vitamin D levels.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Vitamin D.
Okay.
Vitamin D.
D as in David.
Level.
Yeah,
and,
I got you.
They got a range of like 30 to 100, and 30 is like barely is okay, and 100 and all this. And I'm in the sun every day in a swimsuit, and I supplement, and I had a 32. I was recommended to me to take like 10,000 units a day. And, I hear...
Well, you can't go by your body... The best way, you're doing everything you need to do. I don't know where you got the idea. Which vitamin D form of vitamin D? Is it the 25-hydroxy? Does it say that anywhere?
Yeah. This test says vitamin D OH or something.
Yeah, okay. That's yeah, that's it. That's the right one. So 32 is not bad. Usually, there's so many gurus out there. They want 10,000 units a day. I heard another guru on just get it from the sun.
The wellness saying that if women could get their levels up to 70, it would stamp out.
No, that's not. That's silly. That's nonsense. Vitamin D works in conjunction with vitamin A. Vitamin D works in conjunction with blood sugar. Vitamin D works in conjunction with calcium. You can't just take one vitamin willy-nilly, especially one. Vitamin D is not even a vitamin; it's a hormone. You got to be very careful with vitamin D. I'm not buying that you got to supplement with, crazy amounts of synthetic vitamin D supplement. In fact, there's a lot of research now that indicates that might be a problem. Vitamin D is important. It's incredibly important.
An article in the Minneapolis Tribune. I'll read one sentence out of here.
Do you really want to get health information from the Minneapolis Tribune?
Pardon me?
Do you really want to get health information from the Minneapolis Tribune?
Well, I don't think so. It's naming the study and who did it.
It doesn't matter. Read it anyway. Let's hear it. Let me hear it.
It's just the article says vitamin D boost won't help bone density. The lead author, Dr. Mark Boland, said that aside from people with severe vitamin D deficiency, there are few people who need supplements. The findings come from
I'm kind of agreeing with listen.
From 3,000 participants. That's it.
Okay, look. Studies are BS.
Okay.
Studies are bull crap. It's called. I'm talking now. And I didn't say all research. I said studies that are done on people where they take 3,000 people or 2,000 people or 5,000 people and they determine this, that, or the other thing. I don't buy any of them. Okay? And people who quote studies and use studies don't understand science.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Biochemistry is science. Epidemiology is pseudoscience, in my opinion. Epidemiology is the kind of studies where you take 3,000 people and see what their vitamin D levels are and compare how much how much osteoporosis they have, just to give you an example. And this is the way non-scientists try to understand science. And when I say non-scientists, I'm talking about some doctors. I'm talking about a lot of alternative practitioners. In fact, I don't want to mention any names, but there's some really ignorant alternative practitioners who are promoting themselves as nutritionists and as chiropractors who don't know anything about biochemistry, but always are quoting epidemiological studies. Oh, they did a study on 5,000 people. There's one guy named, I will call a guy out named T. Colin Campbell, who uses this technique a lot. He wrote a book called The China Study, where they just do these epidemiological studies where they interview people and see what their habits were and try to associate their health challenges with their dietary habits or supplemental habits, etc. So anyway, I don't buy the studies. Let's talk about vitamin D, though. This is more important because vitamin D is incredibly, incredibly valuable. But it doesn't mean you can supplement with it and get the benefit. Because vitamin D works in conjunction, like all vitamins, but especially vitamin D because it's a hormone. It's not a vitamin. We call it a vitamin because you can get it from food and you can up your levels from food, but it's really a hormone. It's not a vitamin, along with vitamin A. It's not really a vitamin. It works in a different way than other vitamins. It doesn't just support activity, it makes it happen. Vitamins in general, your B vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin K, they act to support chemistry. They help chemistry proceed. They're assistants. Vitamin A and vitamin D are a completely different level. And they work together, by the way. They're involved with building. And they're involved with how the body handles sugar. And they're involved with how the body handles other minerals and other nutrients. There's just so much interaction between vitamin A and D and the metabolism, the chemistry of the body. So I would be very careful about supplementing with large amounts of it.
What about small amount, Ben, with K2? What about small amount if you're stuck in Minnesota for the winter like I am?
Of vitamin D2?
The vitamin D3, like small amounts, like maybe.
Why don't you get a sun lamp? Why don't you get yourself a sun lamp?
Okay.
Why don't you get a good full spectrum sun lamp and then lay under that? And that's what I recommend for people who live in Minnesota or upstate New York or Seattle or the great Northwest. What's that?
No supplements of vitamin D. Okay.
I don't want to say no supplements of vitamin D, but the idea of mega dosing with vitamin D to get your levels up, I'm not buying that. Mega dosing with vitamin D. I think that's a problem. And that article that you read, while I'm on the one hand, I'm not a big believer in studies, I can see the guy's point. You can't just take vitamin D and get better bones. It doesn't work that way. You can't just take a supplement and get better bones. And vitamin D or just calcium or just vitamin K for that matter. Building bones is part of the anabolic chemistry. It's part of building chemistry in the body. To build the body, you need, and we've been talking about this, you need nutrients, you need macronutrients, you need micronutrients, you need oxygen, You need you need electrical energy from the circulatory system. You need exercise and stress. Do you follow me here? You need to avoid anything that gets in the way, that mucks up the works. Sugar, inflammatory foods. If you're free, and I'm not saying this is you, Gary. I'm not picking on you here or pointing. I'm not like making an example out of you here. I'm just saying, in general, if you're eating a lot of sugar, or you're eating problem foods, you got a digestive health issue, or you're under a lot of stress, and you're hang on, Gary, or you're pumping out a lot of cortisol because of your lifestyle, whatever, and your bones are thinning, and then you go and take vitamin D, it's not going to make a whit's bit of difference. So when you read a study like this, I want to know, are the people smoking? Are they eating lots of sugar? Are they subsisting on McDonald's? Are they sedentary? This is the problem with epidemiology. You can't control for all of these various factors. So, yes, you understand what I'm saying? So
that's a great point.
Of course it is, and nobody ever tells you any of this stuff. So that's the problem with epidemiology, and that's why I don't pay much attention to it. The fact of the matter is, from a biochemical standpoint, vitamin D is critical. The body has evolved to make vitamin D from the sun, a reaction between the sun and the skin, cholesterol in the skin. You know, vitamin D is cholesterol, Gary? It's a version of cholesterol. It's a type of cholesterol. So vitamin D, the sun hits cholesterol in the skin, tweaks it a little bit, you get your vitamin D. And then from that point, by the way, it has to be activated in the liver and the kidneys. So vitamin D is not vitamin D until it's activated. It doesn't have vitamin D properties until it's activated. So if you got a kidney problem, if you got a liver problem, you're not going to be activating the vitamin D. So you got to work on the entire system. You can't just take supplements. You can't just take vitamin D for your bones. Anyway, I didn't mean to rip you there. I hope that's okay.
That was interesting. What about the A1C? We were talking about, I have that glaucoma in my left eye. I'm doing real well with it. I got 20/20 vision on it. I just got checked.
Good for you.
Pardon me?
Good for you. That's awesome.
And I'm doing real well with it. But you always thought that had some relation maybe to the, your glucose. I got this glucose test. I got 4.7 on the A1C. I happened to take the blood test. Does that mean anything to you?
It's about right. It's not a big deal. But how's your weight? That's the best indicator of blood.
5 pounds. I'm 5'5".
145.
5'5". Worked out.
Are you
my
lean?
Whole life.
Is it a lean 145, or is it got the belly thing going on?
I got that injury then 7 months ago. I haven't been able to
Gary, I'm not picking on you. I'm not picking on you, Gary. I'm not picking on you.
I haven't been able to lift weights for 7 or 8 months.
Has nothing to do with that. Has nothing to do with that, Gary. Do you have a little belly fat going on?
There's maybe a small amount I could lose. Yeah.
You're probably okay. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Go by your symptoms.
That was one of the questions I have for a senior, guy like, a senior. Do you think that optimum weight is perfect, or a little subcutaneous fat is okay?
It doesn't go by any of that. It doesn't go by any of that. It just goes by you. It goes by your body mass. You want to make sure you don't have everybody's going to have, it's hard not to have a little bit of body fat, or belly fat, I should say. Belly fat, not body fat. It's the belly fat that you want to be focusing on. That's the best indicator. There's other indicators too. Glaucoma is definitely an indicator. Thinning bones is an indicator. Accelerated aging. But a quick down and dirty way to tell if you're having problems processing sugar is belly fat. All right, Gary, I got to go. Only got about 20 seconds. Thanks for your call. Appreciate it. And that's it for us on The Bright Side. Thanks for listening, friends. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have a wonderful, beautiful, awesome, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.